Alright guys, Joe here. God, I teach people to build nickel all day. My shop sells DNA 40s. We've sold like 40 of these units. I think only 3 of the people can actually build nickel. Stephen Wells is one of them though. I taught him. He seems to be one of the only few people who can grasp it. So it is a little hard with certain atomizers. To me, the K-Fun is probably one of the more fickle ones. I haven't had too much problems with the Hobo myself. But what you will need, obviously, is the Allen key, either a 3mm or a 2.4mm screwdriver, and some 28 gauge nickel and something to cut it. So I'm using pliers, and you will need some pliers so you can pull the slack out of the wire. I'm just using 28 gauge Ni 200 Lightning Vapes brand, I think. I don't know. I've heard some work better than others, but this is really the only brand I have experience with. So when you cut off about 10 inches, maybe even 12 if you're new to it. You want enough wire that you can actually tug on. So I'm going to try and do this the best I can in the camera. So you want to leave about that much off. I like the precision screwdrivers because this little thing helps me hold the wire in place. Bring it over, start the wraps. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll show you guys in a second. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so here's where we are so far, guys. Doesn't look clean, doesn't look neat yet. Then just take it and go bloop, like that. Okay, so I don't like doing compressed coils because they'll end up compressed after you vape on them for a week anyway. But I like to have about that much wrap per space. Maybe I'd say a little less than a 0.5 millimeter per. Alright, I know it's kind of hard to see, but maybe if I take it off the screwdriver, it'll be a little easier. Okay, so I'm not done with it yet. Put the screwdriver back on, and now you got to get the leads coming off the coil the way you need them to be. So I think this is where a lot of people make mistakes. So what I'll do is I'll pull with pliers usually. I'm going to use my fingers because I'm good at it. I will pull all the slack out of it I possibly can. I mean, I will yank on it, especially after bunching it upwards against the thing. And then when you get to this part, you've got to take this lead here and pull it down, right? So look at how kinked up this lead looks right here. Don't let it be like that. Take it with your fingers and straighten it out as much as you possibly can. And what I'll do is I'll pull all the slack out of both sides, getting it looking nice and neat and uniform, so that when you do pull it off the screwdriver, and when you tighten all the slack off, 9 out of 10 times you're going to have to spin the screwdriver like this to get the coil out. So that is what a perfect single 12 wrap 3mm Hobo nickel coil looks like. Okay. So, I should have been more prepared for this part, but I'm not. Just bear with me, guys. Now, I gotta take my old build out of this Hobo. There we go. And that's gonna take me a few seconds. But, the next part's really important. This is where all the hot legs occur. This has Kanthal on it, so pay no attention to the way this looks. But do not push your coil over trying to center it too much. You will get a hot leg, or you will run into temperature protection. Another thing I don't like is using Japanese cotton. I find I hit temperature protection when I use it sometimes, and I think it's because I'm not cramming enough cotton through the coil. Hold that thought, guys. I gotta go grab something real quick. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had to get a stand to build on, and I had to get some cotton. This is my favorite cotton, I hate to say it. Rite Aid organic cotton. I like this stuff better than any of the premium vape cotton. You're going to need something to build on. Do not build on your Hobo on top of your flask or your Vapor Shark or whatever you're using. Okay, so I got this little totem here. Let me get something to build on so the camera can see. There we go. So, that's catnip, by the way. Not a big jar of weed, I swear. So, next we're going to install the screwdriver back through the coil. You will have to spin it like so to get it on if you've pulled enough of the slack out of the wire. So, I've got one long lead, one slightly shorter. I don't know, I'd say there's a good 3 inches and a good 4 inches coming off this coil. You want it that long. Alright, so we're going to carefully insert them through the holes, and you'll see why I want all that slack in just a moment. Alright, so what I do, see if I can get this on here the best I can and show through the camera. I want about that much space in between the coil. I'm not going to center it. God damn it, this camera's fucking annoying. About there. You want it maybe, I don't know, I'll show you an up close picture after I install it. But I always leave the screwdriver in for this part, and I'll leave maybe 1.5 millimeters to 2 millimeters of coil length. I won't straighten it either. I'll just, for now, it's just going to come straight out of the coil and leave about 2 millimeters on worth of coil you can work with. Next, we're going to come, meanwhile keeping the screwdriver in there the whole time, I'm going to come and I'm going to tighten up the leads. Just enough until they start to bow upwards and grip the thing. Okay. So it's starting to do it on this one. But once you got it fairly tight, don't worry about it. Just start to get it tight. You don't want to sever the lead and break the wire. And this is my one problem with this fucking Hobo, is my goddamn Allen key gets stuck constantly. Okay, there it goes. So now we're going to tighten the other lead. I apologize about the video. I didn't really set it up or take a whole lot of time for this. I'm just doing it to help you guys. So tighten it as much as it'll go. Okay, so now you can kind of center it just a touch. So it's basically right in front of the holes on the coil. I'll pull it out and I'll push it over just a touch, not much. And then I'll spin the screwdriver out. Sometimes you'll have to go clockwise, sometimes you'll have to go counterclockwise. But if your coil has all the slack pulled out of it, it'll be hard to remove. So this is the next part. This is why I have these long leads. Okay, so when I wiggle this lead on the other side of the coil, see how it's moving it? No, you can't see that one. See how that one's moving? That means this lead is not tight enough. So you want to keep going with the Allen key, adjusting until it no longer wiggles at all. So tighten it good. Pray your Allen key comes out better than mine. So now let's try it again. Now it's good. It's not wiggling. Okay, now you can cut your leads off. Basically, you don't want your coil positioned higher than the top of the screws right here. You know? So inch your coil about that high, but you want to make sure it's not on your Delrin piece here, because it will melt it. 3 millimeters is a big coil for a Hobo, but you can do it, and I think it's the best inside of a Hobo, the 3 mil with nickel. Second best would probably be 2.4, but pull it away from the deck just enough to get it situated the way you want, and don't fuck it up by pulling the screwdriver out. Go slow. And here is about what you want right there. Block the damn ceiling light for you guys. And that's about perfect. So when I come wiggle this, the coil doesn't move anywhere. Then you know you're ready to wick. Okay? So I'm only doing single coil. I would advise starting out single coil if you're new to nickel. you can't dry fire your coils, or you're not supposed to, because Ni200 evidently degrades at higher temperatures that you would dry fire. So I'll take a cotton ball, I'll unroll it, I'll pull off about a section like this. And the wicking is important for the temperature control, guys. So I will get about, I don't know, maybe about 4-inch section, just wide enough to cover the top and bottom of my hand. And what I'll do next is I'll kind of just comb it, and I'll get all the fibers to run one direction, just like this. And then when you get it to about, I don't know, maybe 3 times the coil diameter, take it in your hands and roll it into a doobie. Press it up hard. You know, you're not being gentle with the cotton here. Press it until it's compressed. And what you're doing is you're making a nice, dense little cotton wick so you don't hit temperature control right away. And when you're done with it, it'll literally look like a cotton joint. It will literally look perfect. No bumps, no bruises, just perfect smoothness. And I'm going to try and do this next part on camera. Fish it through. You gotta have enough cotton through there, because if you don't have enough cotton through there, it's going to reach temperature protection rather quickly. Alright, so now we're looking about perfect. Kind of spin it like this. I like doing that. That helps me fluff it up a little bit. Alright, now, pray to God I got some scissors in here, because I might have to run out in the other room. Oh well, I'm just going to show you how I do it with some fingernail clippers. Nope. Give me 5 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Alright. So, cut the cotton, I don't know, maybe... Fucking left-handed scissors, man. I can't stand being left-handed sometimes. Alright, so you're about here, right? So next thing I do is I juice that bitch. And I will thoroughly juice it. Not just a little, but I'll soak that bitch. Alright. And the reason why I'm doing this is it just happens to keep it nice and neat. So, next I'm doing is I'm taking this and I'm tucking it in the little wick channels. And you can't just have cotton crammed all underneath it. Doesn't work as well. So I'll literally cram it inside the wick channel, just like that. Come over to the other side. Do the same. And so it looks just like this from the sides. In fact, tuck that bitch in. Alright, so that's what we're working with right now, guys. Alright, so now we're done. Just gotta put it back together, test it. But I didn't really thoroughly soak the wick before. I'm going to do that now. Got some NYX Blissful Brew Lush. It's like a, yeah, it's alright. It's not my favorite strawberries and cream, but that's okay. It's good juice for the demo. Alright, so put the Hobo back together. Put the top barrel back on first. Fucking clone, man. Should have used my Authentic, but my Authentic had a really nice dual 30 gauge on it that I've been thoroughly enjoying. But you want to make sure your coil is got enough cotton through it. If you put Japanese cotton through there, even if I put Japanese cotton through there, I find that I run into temp control fairly easily before my hit is done. Alright, finally, I at least got the threading on. It's about fucking time. We'll use my Yeah, use my flask. Why not? So, next we gonna do is check for hot spots, hot legs, whatever you want to call them. So, that's how you do it, guys. Pretty simple. It's working. Let's see how it works with the temp control on. Well, it finally hit it because it's probably dry. It is dry now, just about. I didn't put enough juice in there. But that's how you do it, guys. 15-minute video. Hopefully that'll help you. If not, well, come by Vape Parkway. Maybe I can spend some more time with you.